Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new era for the Black Ferns and for the Wallaroos as they start this World Cup cycle with a pretty one-sided match over in Brisbane. So for today's video, I'm going to be looking at how the Black Ferns destroyed the Wallaroos by 50-0. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe to me, like this video, and of course, comment your thoughts down below if you enjoy it. A big thank you to my patrons as per normal. I'm Max, I'm the host over here at the Black Jersey, and let's get into how this game was performed exclusively here on this channel. After 11 minutes of getting a feel for the opposition, the Black Ferns have a line out inside the Wallaroos half. Though we can see this gap between Georgia Ponsonby and the jumpers right here, the Wallaroos don't have any indication of needing to guard the blind side, as Kennedy Simon is looking to attach to Mererangi from here after the jump is over. If Tanya Naden had been cued in, she'd have almost definitely shifted into this space herself, but as she can see Simon looking to attach, she opts to do the same to attempts to shut them all down. Tanya Kalounivale, though, hidden as the back lifter, has other ideas. While Simon does indeed attach to them all, the minute she does so, we can see Kalounivale looking to rotate around and create a 2-on-1 that will force Caitlin Laney to pick between two possible carriers. Regardless of which carrier trucks forward, Laney is left in a serious position of indecision as Vania Wong, a winger, is the player in behind. Kalounivale wraps around, takes the pass, but is left unopposed given Ponsonby's line in a more dangerous position for Wong. As this is the case, Laney does not play catch up until Kalounivale has an inside option through Simon. Having two backs marking her, it's pretty easy for Kalounivale from here. She has her first try in a black jersey. Some pretty soft Aussie defence allows Sylvia Brunt to get a double, but the way the first half gets finished was absolutely thrilling. What we can see here is that Dumont slotting between a pod of two forwards so that she can do a Marcus Smith and be in the perfect position to select which carrier has the best possible space to execute a pre-planned move. As we skip forwards the ball landing in her hands, we see this gap opening for Ponsonby, and Dumont looks for Ponsonby to slot between the shoulders of Brianna Sheatham and Tanya Naden to gain meters. Although Ponsonby puts her hands up to sell it to the Wallaroos, there's also another gap that opens over here, so Dumont instead opts to enable the pre-planned strike run with an improvised start. Ponsonby now receives the ball from far further ahead than intended, which allows her to offload to Renee Holmes in a broken field. Although Holmes is faced by Laney, this play has been devised to come off the enforcer, Chelsea Bremner. By playing in the 13 channel, Bremner, who's a lock, is in perfect position, able to suck Cecilia Smith in. What we now get is a continuation of the loop idea that will eliminate Laney from the Australian defence, artificially giving the Black Ferns an extra player on the blind side, as this animation of Holmes' wraparound can demonstrate to us. With Simon on the outside as Bremner is tackled, Holmes has now turned a 2-on-2 to a 3-on-2. As Holmes completes the loop and we see the ball mid-air, Laney has indeed worked around to continue marking Simon after the dummy, but the initial removal of Laney from the defence now leaves Mererangi Paul unmarked on the outside. The reason for Wong's horrible defence isn't just her own lack of instincts, it's the fact that because Laney was here whilst Holmes completed her lap around to the blind side, while Simon and Paul have been in the same channel. Needing to guard Simon and Paul, the addition of Holmes into this passion has left them unable to shift to their left. Paul then gives us some genuine X factor to complete the pre-planned shift of the ball to her, giving us a solid chip and chase before we now cut back to the Stan Sports angle and show she did indeed ground it. What's even better is that she gets to fetch herself another try at the start of the second half. Though the next attempt to Liana Michaeli Tu'u gets disallowed, Rosie Kelly, who I had as a guest on this channel a few weeks ago, gets a decent amount of game time on debut as she hoped for, and she gives us an awesome introduction that she deserved for Test rugby. Luca Connor gets in the way of Cheatham, although legally, this gives Kelly some decent depth to work with. Holmes comes onto the ball at pace from behind, but is in a pretty bad position to fetch a pop pass from the debutante, so instead, what we get from Kelly is a precise, flat, Owen Farrell pass that skips past 3 Wallaroos and straight over to Caitlin Vahaakolo, a newly minted cross-code star and Culture Kings Employee of the Year. Though Faitala Moleka gets in Vahaakolo's way by being the only Wallaroo who went to tackle practice before the game, we now see the use of Kennedy Simon becoming very apparent, as she's already there to clean the ruck as Vahaakolo lands. The width of Kelly's pass now gives Chelsea Bremner, another previous guest on the channel, the chance to get into a perfect body position, going low and slotting between the shoulders of her 2 opponents, continuing the one-sided result. To finish off the match, we get 2 more spectacular tries, beginning with Iritana Hohaia's pass to Crystal Murray. As Murray is a prop who can actually pass, the Wallaroos zone in on her straight away while Maya Roos runs in support as a ruck clearance option. With Smith hiding in behind for a bad imitation of the Irish cover defence, there's a massive gap right in front of Murray, so after the nightmares Kalounivale gave the Wallaroos, we have 4 defenders looking into Murray's direction, while Kendra Reynolds is also in a realistic position to receive the pass and sprint through this gap to smash Smith. Reynolds sells the perfect decoy line as Murray sends the ball off to Kelly at 10 and Demont, who is shifted to 12. Although Maddie Shook is side on, she's got Kelly all wrapped up with Demont holding Ashley Masters' attention too. Kelly though senses the momentum of the Wallaroos shifting to the outside, so selects Alana Bremner as the carrier. Because of the fact that Bremner, the best player I've ever had as a guest on this channel, has so much space in this highlighted circle, she has the time to switch her line and crash up between both Smith and Leonard, both of whom are side on. Running into this gap will force Smith to turn around and change her line, while Leonard only has a single shoulder to work with should Bremner run this line. Bremner also has the opportunity to continue on the outside and use Mererangi Paul as a ruck clearance option, though Paul is currently out of frame. As we unpause the frame to see Paul on Bremner's outside, she indeed switches the play with Leonard just too slow to reach her. Bremner now just has a single defender left to beat and joins her sister on the scoreboard. To finish the game, well, I don't think this requires a lot of analysis. It's just terrible defence from the Australian backline, with the scoreline ending in a 50-0 defeat for the hosts. So, what are the biggest takeaways for each team at the end of this game? The biggest takeaway I have for the Wallaroos is that Eddie Jones cannot join this setup soon enough. Eddie Jones is an absolute legend, and by the time he's got involved with the Wallaroos, things are going to change big time. I do think their forward pack has the potential to be pretty dangerous at set piece, but their backline really needs to work on that defense. Karis Dellinger as well at 10. She had a shocker, did not manage the backline very well. As we can see with the possession, it was 54% for the Black Ferns overall, with the Wallaroos at 46%, and a lot of Dellinger's dodgy kicking was definitely allowing the Black Ferns to have that higher share of the percentage inside the first half. Though the Black Ferns didn't really start to score until the second half, I do think Arabella McKenzie, who's come back from England, definitely did at least lighten up the attack a little bit, as she did run the most meters of the team despite coming off the bench. Another work on though for the Black Ferns is the turnovers conceded. Assuming these turnovers conceded, the 26 of them were all handling errors, that is definitely something to work on, but as these were all rookies who are making the errors and stuff, these are fixable absolutely, and you know what, this is currently the time to just blood the rookies and get them into test rugby. It's the start of a World Cup cycle, so if you want to be making mistakes there, you want to be doing it now when the risk isn't so high and stuff. Turnovers won though, the Wallaroos definitely do need to get that up. The Black Ferns still beat them for that, winning 11 turnovers in total. So yes, there are definitely some work-ons. Rucks lost as well, 12 of them for the Wallaroos compared to 3 for the Black Ferns. The Black Ferns forward pack really made a huge difference for this test, and pretty much every area that I didn't show to you guys through the footage was pretty much just dominated by Black Ferns defense, 100% absolutely. If you guys in the audience enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to me down below, like this video, and comment your thoughts at the end of it and everything like that. Really appreciate you guys for viewing it, and I'll see you later. Cheers for watching this exclusive coverage that's analysis of the Black Ferns win over the Wallaroos here on the Black Jersey. My name's Max and I'm signing out. Cheers guys.